If their daughter is never found, Kate and Jerry McCann say this is all about a fitting legacy for her. The interest across Europe in Madeleine's case hasn't dimmed. They want to use that high profile to save other children.
Would have increased the chances for sure. You know, we had enough information at that point, and bearing in mind Madeleine was only 3. You know, that implies it's a very, very concerning disappearance, regardless of the circumstances. And I do believe it might have made a difference, but we don't know for sure. But
I think one of the most frustrating things that we've had is, we've had worldwide media interest because Madeleine could be absolutely anywhere.
The search for Madeleine became a campaign. The McCanns met the Pope, went to the White House. Superstar footballers Cristiano Ronaldo and David Beckham became involved.
Please, could you go to your local authorities or police and give any information that you have?
The advice that's come from ICMEC, the International Centre for Missing and Exploited Children, is that what you want to do is keep Madeleine's profile high, make sure that people are aware of her and try and keep that going for as long as possible, because cases that have resolved have done that, and therefore without the media we could never have done that.
Our family strongly believe that somebody in the public holds a key piece of information, and that's why we have campaigned so vigorously to make sure her disappearance is publicised as much as possible.
Can you just explain to us, first of all, why being here and doing this is so important? I suppose it's obvious on one level, but why go this far and be kind of the figurehead for trying to change things? Why are you doing that?
And obviously there's been a lot of work that's gone on already with regards to a Europe-wide alert system with the European Commission and with Missing Children Europe and its member states. And in fact the European Commission have said that they're willing to facilitate such a system. I think given that we've still got a bit of a high profile, even if it's noted, we're just trying to build really on that willingness and be proactive and just try and push it forward a little bit more really. I think it'll also help to make the public aware of the issues, because I think a lot of people are ignorant.
I suppose it's having gone through what we have in the last year, Richard, and the turmoil and grief and all the other horrible emotions that he experiences, to try and prevent other families suffering that. And we believe that an effective Amber Alert system will get children safely recovered, and probably acts as quite a good deterrent as well.
And personally, I'm interested, is it important to you that you are still, if you like, part of that much wider kind of search, if you like? Is it personally important to you to be still doing something?
Very much so, and I think we could say, there's a campaign that is directly about trying to find Madeleine, and then we've got this is what I would call as a campaign for change, and we're part of that coalition, and different bodies, depending on who they are happy to use the media profile, which is still focused on us, to help push the agenda, and we're very, very happy to be used in that way.
How strange was it to come here as arguidos, still as suspects? So talking about a case where you are still suspects.
You know, we haven't been accused of anything, you know, and if anyone's qualified really to talk about child abduction and the effect of it, I mean, it's us, you know.
Hopefully it'll not be for too much longer. As you know, the penal code in Portugal has changed, and the suspect arguido should only be enforced for 8 months with a 3-month extension if there is good circumstances, and so we're pretty optimistic that that arguido status will be lifted soon, and everyone can be absolutely clear that the focus should be on trying to find Madeline.
And do you think that there is a sense of change? Because the last time I spoke to you, I think you were at a state where you felt that whatever you did, your words would be twisted and used against you. Do you think things are different now, that attitude, perhaps that aggression might not be there anymore?
I think there is a general cooling of the temperature that built up around the time we were declared arguido, and people, and obviously Mr. Rubilo's comments help along those lines, but obviously, you know, it's a secondary issue for us, although we do feel it has adversely impacted on the search for Madeline, and I think it would be a very clear statement when the arguido status is lifted that, you know, there's absolutely no evidence to support our involvement in anything to do with Madeline's disappearance.
The anniversary is approaching. How important is that to you? Does it mean anything to you? Will things change afterwards? Just explain that to us. Is it just a date that's looming towards you, or is it a kind of after a year will you step back a bit?
We certainly won't step back in our search for Madeline. I mean, it is just a date, and I suspect I probably won't feel any different when we get to May the 3rd than I do today. You know, I guess there is an element of, you know, we were initially hours, days, weeks, and then we're suddenly into years. But other than that,
I think that, I suppose the key thing for me is that if Madeline is still missing, and we still hope that she'll be found, but if she's still missing leading up to May the 3rd, then what we need to do is capitalise on information that might help to find Madeline, because clearly there will be massive media attention again.
What's your relationship like with the Portuguese police at the moment? I know there's all this talk that you probably don't want to get into about reconstructions. I know you don't want to get into it, but the thing is people who are watching this will want to know what you think about it. So what is the situation with that? Are you still communicating with them? Is there a chance that could happen?
There's a dialogue going on, and as I said, we are very keen to participate in anything that has an objective that will help to find Madeline, and we'd be very interested if there was a Crime Watch style reconstruction and that was broadcast to try and jog people's memories or get more information in. But you know, we've asked questions of the reconstruction: who it's going, what are the objectives, how's it going to be achieved, and clearly there have been dates that have been put out there, and I don't see how alerting the worldwide media to a potential reconstruction will help you know, do that in a civil fashion. So you know, but there's an open dialogue. We aren't averse to going, but we want to make sure that it will be productive.
And finally, I mean, it felt very emotional when you were talking about your experience to the MEPs. How is it having to talk about that? I mean, is it still very, very, very difficult for you to have to open up all the time?
it's actually, I mean, sometimes even going back to something I mentioned about the early hours really, and that sense of helplessness, and actually going back and recalling that actually kind of brings back a lot of the emotion. And just how real and acute it was. But I think it's important, it's important for people to know just exactly what we have gone through. We can only imagine what Madeline's gone through.
I think it is an issue that, unless you've been experienced it, it's just unbelievable, and it drives us in terms of trying to affect change. It's still raw, not as raw as it was last year, but it's like something out of horror.
And you still believe that Madeline will come back?
Still certainly believe there's a very good chance that we can still find her and be reunited, and we won't give up until that chance is gone, and that means finding her, whatever.